Hello everyone, welcome back for another installment of Firestorm at Home. That's right, I'm not at a Firestorm gym, I'm at home. That's me, Coach FreeLove, and Summer's home. So we welcome you in for our parkour class. It is a lovely Friday, nice and partly cloudy outside, but we are still here inside doing our workouts, really trying to enjoy ourselves for episode 13. That's right, Friday parkour episode 13. Ooh, it's almost like Friday the 13th. Now, we are going to make sure we have plenty of space. There are only two skills that we are really going to go over today. So, we are going to go over very specifically our back flip and side flip. That's it. We're going to do a bunch of workouts that are specifically tailored for those two skills, and using, again, that open space and a couch. If you guys have a couch or even a chair, like this one, may help you for your back flip, but that couch is going to be super helpful for that side flip later on. We're going to start today's episode with our mobility and our warm-ups, just like we would every episode, but our first skill will be our back flip, our second skill will be our side flip, and I'm not going to actually be doing those flips in here. I am, however, again, working out what we need to do for those skills. Now, real quick disclaimer, if you want to see those tutorials, we don't have them. They're just not currently posted. We are in the act of expanding our tutorial library and working on more difficult, more intense, and higher level moves. So they are some of the most commonly done things. If you guys did want to check them out, you can check out a couple of the tutorials there. We have one for specifically, if you look up Strength Project side flip tutorial, you will find Coach Justin. That's right, because he did one with Strength Project, even though we are still currently waiting to release ours for Firestorm. So you guys go check out that for now if you're interested. But until then, we're just going to get started with our mobility and our workout. So, nice open clear space. Nothing in the way. No cats are running around today, which is nice. I'm going to get started. Fairly wide stance, strong posture, hips are square, chest is up, chin is up in a neutral and forward position. From here, chin over to the shoulder and roll it down to the chest and up to the opposite shoulder. We're going to go back and forth just a few. Nice. All right, and go ahead and give that a stop there. Do make sure that you're breathing the whole time, breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth the whole time that we're doing the hour of class together, right? So picking up with our shoulders, literally picking up with our shoulders. Go ahead and lift them straight up. Pick your shoulders up to your ears. Use your shoulder blade to help you to create that lift. Hold it up as best as possible. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down, and now we're going to do a few forward circles, hitting the peak of that lift, going down and behind us, then up to that peak lift and forward in front of us. So just a few shoulder circles. Let's get it started. Nice. All right, and let's go opposite direction now. So backwards, so up into the top, then backwards to that shoulder pinch. We're really trying to get our shoulder blades together. If we can get our shoulder blades pinched together in the back of that circle, we're doing a lot for our mobility in our shoulder and its blade. So let's go ahead backwards. Awesome. All right. Nice. Big shoulder rolls. We're going to move down to our elbows and our wrists. So let's go cactus arms, keeping that wide stance. Strong posture, chest is up. Good. And cactus arms, again, we're going to go in towards our head to start. Hands go down towards our armpits and out and under our elbows. Back out into this big T pose and back up to cactus arms. Try to keep those going smoothly and try and keep your elbow up at the height of your shoulder. Again, just mobilizing the elbow a little bit. Still kind of warming up the shoulder and the neck. It's good stuff. Let's go cactus arms in the opposite direction now. You guys can see I'm always returning to this straight neutral posture, but I do take a moment to check my arms and to make sure that my body position is upright, because naturally it will drop. So I am checking myself, looking around and checking the quality of my body's posture. And good, go ahead and finish. Going to interlock those fingers now and squeeze those hands together and roll those wrists out. Let's go a single direction. You guys can see I'm rolling one way, then I'll go the opposite in just a moment. But you guys can really press your forearm together while you do so to try and create some additional stretch in the wrist. Nice. And opposite direction like we said. Good. And shake them out side to side. And up and down. A few circles one way. Opposite direction. Nice. So, almost all of our upper body is taken care of. We're going to move into our torso just a little bit with a few torso twists. Now, I was saying to be mindful of your posture earlier. And one of the things that will help you is if you guys have like a reflective surface or a mirror. Like I have my big old sliding glass door. And sometimes I'm able to, when I do my workouts, look at that and see my body and see my posture. And I can do my workouts a little bit better because of that. So keep that in mind if you guys are near or around a reflective surface. Use that while you guys are doing your class. So, torso twist. And we're not doing our big momentum twist just yet, but we are going to twist into it nice and slow and bounce back to the opposite. Just getting to our maximum of our twist. And again, not adding momentum yet. Ever mindful of that breathing in the nose and out the mouth. Good. And now let's make sure that we keep ourselves pretty firmly planted and add some momentum to our torso twist. So taking that slow muscular twist, making it our momentum twist. Get going. All right, go ahead and give that a rest. Nice. Straighten out the spine, tighten up your posture, and roll the hips out for our hip circles. Just like we've done in every episode before, isolate as much of the spine as possible and emphasize the movement on the pelvis. I don't know if you guys caught my live stream earlier today, but we did do a strength and conditioning episode today. That was strength and conditioning episode 2. It was a leg day. And starting this episode today, I can feel it already. So I know I'm going to have a very effective workout when I get to tricking, which will be almost definitely legs tonight. So very excited about the productivity of my leg workouts today. Hope you guys are following along with not just this parkour stream, but some of our other cool streams too. Opposite direction for those hip circles. Big exaggeration on that breathing. Again, nice long deep breaths, really filling up your lungs and expanding your entire rib cage and your body size even. Good. And let's move into our knees. Now, because we're going to be isolating the idea of a straight backwards movement for our back tuck, and then the sideways movement for our side flip, we are going to really want to take good care of our knees and our ankles today, in the thought that if we were doing these actually, our knees and our ankles take a lot of the brunt of the damage in these techniques, especially if you're not as advanced and you're just strengthening yourself for them. So when you guys are failing these movements, be very careful for your knees and your ankles. So don't do them during today's episode, but do the workouts that we're going to have. Those warm-ups are very important to focus on. So let's get into those squats and hyperextensions. So I'm going to lock my legs out, lock up straight, creating a little bit of additional pressure by leaning into it with my hands and my upper body. Not a lot, just a little light bounce in there. And then back to my squat. I'm going to lock and bounce and squat in that order. Nice. Just a few more. Awesome. Now, we're going to do our knee circles going both directions, and then a few additional knee circles today that we don't usually do, again, because today is such a lower body eccentric day. Lower body centric, that's what I mean to say. Nice. All right, so knee circles. Awesome. Opposite direction now, so let's get it. Nice. And so like I said, a few extra knee circles that we don't usually do. We're going to go outside from the inside, so knees to the front, then they separate, they come back, and then they come together, just like that. We're going to do that a few times, and then we'll do the opposite of that, where the knees go outside with a squat towards the center, and then back to locked. So let's go forward from this locked position first, out and around. You may even feel some of this in your ankle and your hips, and that's good. This is your mobility and warm-ups for the start of class, so feeling it in those places is important. Nice, let's go opposite direction now. So squat out wide, bring them together in the front, and then walk them out in the back. Nice, lock them out, and we're going to walk in place just a few steps. Nice. And we're going to jog in place a little bit now. So again, today is back flips and side flips. Very excited to bring you a bunch of workouts for those. So if you guys are struggling with those movements, or we'll say you want to push for more of that, or to have that better, or even double of it, right? Like double back flip or double side flip. Then some of these workouts will probably benefit you in that growth. We are getting into the last of our anticipated series that we spoke about on episode 1 and a little bit in episode 2. We talked about it. It was only going to be 18 or 19 parts for Acroflex and Parkour. But we going ahead are going to stop there. We're going to go ahead and continue to bring you guys content as long as we need to, for as long as the quarantine is in place. So just keep an eye on us and hit subscribe or hit that bell notification so that way you guys can get updated whenever we have content. We're going to do just a few jumping jacks now. This is our starting position, going up and open into this big nice triangular position. I want to hear, in theory I can't hear you guys, but I want to hear the clap on the thigh and on the hands up top. And so people in your family should also hear the clap too. So get together, get started now. Alright, stop there. We're going to drop down to a push-up position and then get back up really quick. No push-up, just down to position. So, hope everyone's ready. I'm going to get set. Standing, down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, rest. Catch your breath for a second. Once more. And we're gonna all go get a quick sip of water. So go get yours, I'll get mine. Oh my goodness, I need it. All right. So, nice. Hey everyone, good to see you there. I mean, not actually, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so we are going to roll around on the floor in an attempt to practice our flip. So let's just lay down in that open space that we had. If you guys were on hard wood, it would be important to have a cushion of some sort, even your mat or maybe a couple blankets. But you may even want to move into a different room altogether, into a carpeted space. I'm going to go ahead and get myself down and ready for my backwards roll. So, squaring off my stance nice and strong, nice and squared. I'm going to squat my hips all the way down to the ground, towards my bottom, and then I'm going to let myself land on my bottom. I know it's kind of heavy if we drop and we stop, but our goal is actually to stay rounded. You guys have to kind of curl and hunch and round forward in the chest to squat yourself down. So when we first do that, stay rounded in the upper body. Hips are going to hit the floor. We're going to push through our legs a little bit to send ourselves rolling, and then really try and keep connected in the knees to the shoulders after that. So there's that little bit of roll here. Now when we get to the point where we're landing on our head and our neck, because we are doing this like a normal gymnastics backwards roll, we're rolling straight down our spine, not like a normal shoulder roll. I'm going to be coming up somewhere just out here off to the side. My goal is really to brace like a bridge stretch. So for those of you that have followed us from previous episodes, you know our bridge. But I'm going to reach my fingertips up and over my shoulder, back down to the back of my shoulder blade. Here we go, right? So boom, hands go over, head curls in. And I'm kind of just straddling my feet, opening up my stance just a little bit. So I'm going to do that again, taking a nice neat little squat over here towards the front of my space, rolling back to the back and not breaking it down as slowly as I did just
before, we have already kind of addressed our backwards roll and our backwards and sideways shoulder roll episode. So we're gonna go straight in, straight over the spine, kind of straight over the head too. Squat in, stay rounded, hips down, push roll, catch, and roll back. Right now it's just a basic backwards roll. That's okay. That's all we need, at least for right now. Those of you that want to practice this more, this is really the starting step for a backflip. If you can't pull your hips and your feet up and over your head, or you get dizzy or you get nervous thinking about being upside down, doing that, this is your start. If you're stuck here and you can't really get up and over backwards, start forwards and practice until that's comfortable. So for those of you that are jumping in, just like sick, I want to do an at-home backflip. This is at-home workout for backflip. There's a difference. So we are going to go back down in, do a few more of those backwards rolls. Now, again, at full speed now. Nice. So at full speed, it is a little bit easier to pull that move off. I am curling and my back of my head is kind of rolling across the floor a little bit. That's okay for right now. Now, one of the other things that you guys can do to make an additional work of challenge for this is a bit of a pike. So at the end of the movement, as we're trying to stand up, I'm going to demonstrate that one here. I'm going to pike at the end. So squatting down, starting my roll, piking, and pushing myself up. You guys can see there's a very big exaggeration on the straightness and the extension of my legs. That helps you. So doing our backwards roll again. I'll do it one more time for you with that advanced variation. Actually, I'll start over here and finish over here so you guys can see the other side. Here it goes, squatting down, doing that roll, and finishing advanced with my pike. Right? Getting that extension in the legs, full extension there, straight over the head, and then pushing myself up. There you go. So, like I said, once more for you, breaking it down, opposite side, you can see the whole thing. That is our most, I'd say, critical first step. It's having that backwards roll, being able to push yourself up. Knowing also, too, that this hand placement here, like we use for our backwards roll, if I ever bail out or freak out and I need to protect my head and my neck, I've got to protect it, right? I can physically grab it, but one of the things that you can do is kind of shield yourself to save yourself. And you see that happens often when people do back handsprings and stuff like that. They're practicing, they accidentally undercut it, or their arms give out, they're not strong enough. So keep your arms strong, keep ready for that. Our next few movements are going to kind of add on to this idea that we are doing a backflip, but again, not quite doing the flip, but just the components for it. This next one is a tuck jump. We're going to do a nice solid arm swing for that movement. So, if we're all ready, here my arms are in this ready or starting position, up at nearly, I'd say nearly about a 45 degree, maybe just a little higher than that 45 degrees. So as I squat down, I can swing my arms back. I'm going to try not to fold or drop my chest too much. So as I squat down, I can swing my arms up on the other half of that. I'm going to keep my arms up. When I do my jump, leave myself in the upper half in a hollowed position while I bring my knees up and back down. Trying to make that explosive for your tuck and for your open. So for as much energy as you put into your knee drive, you put it into your opening. So, full movement and full speed. Up and ready. Arms swing and all. So I'm not really grabbing my legs when I do the tuck jump here. I'm emphasizing my arm swing, trying to practice my set. And so the following workout that we're going to do is going to help us to practice that arm swing as well. But we're going to do these tuck jumps together and in that quality that I just demonstrated while following all those guidelines I've explained. So set and ready. Don't smack any part of your furniture. And let's go for just a few, making those legs nice and strong and getting your body aware for what we're supposed to be doing. Extra challenge, feet and knees together. Try to make those knees come to your chest. You should maybe even hear it when they hit. Good. So, let's catch our breath there. Give ourselves just a little bit of a moment to breathe. Because that is, well, an explosive action. Takes a second. Our next movement, we're going to lock our body out in an L. So, widen out your stance about 1.5 your shoulder width. Then, walk out in an L. Full 90-degree fold in your hips to your spine so they're like a table, right? Now from here, I'm going to let my arms dangle. My goal is going to be to swing my arm up and out and across like so until it gets to be an extension of my spine as the table. So again, my arms are dangling down, straight down, and I'm kind of letting them be dead in the bottom of the socket here. Then I'm going to swing them up as an extension of my spine into that alignment, and then I'm going to set them back down nice and slow. So dangle the arms, bent body, swing up, slow, up, slow down, up, slow down, up, slow down. Catch your breath. Come out of that extended position for a second. I like to waddle my hips back and forth, bend my knees, get a little bit of a shake down there. Because I know I lock out towards my back of my knee, and I lose a little bit of the circulation that's necessary in the lower half of my body. So staying out of that locked position, ready for my workout, keeping my blood flowing. I'm going to go back in, do a few more of those bent, extended reaches, or those arm swings, right? Again, this is to help teach our body where our arms are locked out with our spine. So when I do a backflip, I know where this locked position is. My arms and my spine are kind of locked as one. Here, doing its bent position means that we are coming down. Doing it in that L means that I am not using any of my support, or using all my support muscles for their own jobs, right? I'm not allowed to isolate that reach and that swing. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, come on out of that. Shake out the legs a little bit, like I said. Shake out the arms a little bit. So, I know we're bent, we're in that locked position for the most part, and holding either down in that L can be kind of stressful on your lower back. So, I understand that stress and that strain there. We're going to twist it out just a few times. The other thing is that we're going to do just a few hula hoops just to alleviate some of that stress from the low back, that locked hold. I know I naturally start to slowly lift up, and I'm sure that many of you are doing the same thing. So we all have our goals at that locked 90. Sometimes we kind of slide away from our goal. It's always good to remind ourselves and reset, and then to get back into it. We are going to move into our next workout. It's going to be laying down on the floor again. It's just a hollow body crunch, which I know sounds maybe a little bit underrated, but is often overlooked. So let's go ahead and get back down low. Our goal here is to try and get as much of an extension out of our legs as we can in the lower half of our hollow body. Often when we do crunches that are floating crunches, we stay bent. And this is fine. It is just not as much of a workout as we can push ourselves for. And it's also not going to help us to experiment with that full range of explosive movement. I don't finish my jump and start my flip with my legs partially bent, I finish my jump with a full extension. And so this part of this workout is really to emphasize what you need when you're in the air after you've finished your arm swing and you're set and you've jumped and you've finished your jump a little bit. So we're going to finish our jump, have that straight leg extension like you finished your jump. You can even point your toe like you just, if there was the floor over there, I pushed off the floor and jumped through my toes. And that's going to be our goal. So extended leg, pointed toe, in our hollow body crunches. Lay it down, hollow body out, and crunch. And now you guys can go at your own pace. Some of you, your crunch is only going to get here because it's hard with bigger thighs or your body being an obstacle. So we understand our goal is just really to keep that active upper core so your shoulders never really drop out. So as you guys keep those sit-ups, keep this going in the upper body, keep that rounded hollow, and when you crunch in, try not to fall over, try and counteractively sit up into the crunch. Just like that. Woo. Take a rest for a moment, catch breath. We're going to do 2 more sets of crunches. So let's do a few moments of breathing, 5 seconds of breathing, 4 seconds of breathing, 3 seconds of breathing. Wow, silly boy. 2 seconds of breathing, last second of breathing, and back into those hollow crunches. All right, we'll say that's a nice spot to rest. We'll rest for another few seconds. Again, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go 5 more seconds of breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and let's get our last set. Let's do it. Come on, everyone. I know I feel that burn. I'm sure you do too, so let's get it and then get water after. Crunches. Let's go. Oh, it's getting there. I can feel the burn. That's good. Let's keep it going. Just a few more. So 2 more. Come on, everyone. 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Nice. So, take a second. Catch breath. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. If you guys need a quick sip, go on ahead and get one. I'm going to take a second to get one. All right. So we are just coming back from our sweaty setties of crunches. I'm feeling good about it. I know now that I have the strength really to explosively pull my knees up to my shoulders and my chest. That's really what it's going to take to get started with a backflip. That's only like the first, I'd say, half of it. Is that first quarter is the squat. The second quarter of that is really finishing that squat and getting the knee drive up. We need to stay actively engaged in that torso, not throwing our body back. So one of the things that we're going to use is a couch. I talked about how we're going to need a couch earlier today. You can use a chair if you've got it, but I'm going to go ahead and use my couch. I'm going to slide over just a little bit. So now hopefully everyone can see me pretty clearly where we're at. But I'm going to sit on my couch the wrong way. I'm going to take a seat to start. try and slide myself back and in, kind of lay down on my side of my back, and put my legs up and over the head of the couch. Now, you should probably get your permission from your parents to do this first. I'm just going to say it. And if this is hardwood, not carpet underneath your couch, be very careful. Also just going to say that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get myself, legs up, oh my goodness, up and over my couch. Here I am. Hey, what's up? Does it look like the thumbnail yet? Nice. So, now we're going to go ahead and roll backwards off the couch. My head is coming away from my chest here. And my goal is, just like in a normal backflip, actually to keep this shut, to keep this closed. Now, if you do have a hat like me, I'm going to pull that out of the way so I can actually see where the ground is at. Because I'm not going to throw my head open unless I'm just starting. This is your very first time ever doing something like this. From this position, we will put our hands out. We get ready to protect our head if we need to, like we talked about earlier. So ready to protect our head. And then we're going to pull our knees in and put our toes up and over us. Oh my God, so tough. I'm stuck. I did it so slowly. So now you have to add some speed. We're going to pull our knees a little bit more aggressively over and off the edge. Nice. So, caught myself with my hands because I had them ready, like I was saying you guys should. And I pulled myself off the edge of the couch just a little bit more quickly by driving those knees in. So, I've got a very long back couch and it kind of slips off. This gives me a sliding hazard. This is actually dangerous. You guys, if you have a shorter seated couch, that's actually a little bit safer to do this movement on. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one together with you guys at full speed. Then we're gonna get started with all of our side flip workouts. So this is your drill that you can practice that will help you with your back flips. It's just really get your mind more comfortable with it. If you guys are not used to spotting, open your eyes and watch the world spin while you do it. So let's get on up. And try and keep the head curled in, hands are ready. And I'm gonna kind of not push off my wall, not kicking off my wall. Instead, just like when we did our tuck jump, I'm pulling my knees in. Oh, almost rolled over on accident. Let's go for it. Nice. So, if you have a higher couch, or like a bed that's a little bit more elevated, and you have space to do this, you don't want to accidentally roll into a wall or into something dangerous, like a TV or couch, table, coffee table, we're going to want to make sure that our environment is safe for the movement. We're going to do it just one more time together and in full speed. Then, again, side flip workouts. Nice. So there's a little bit of prep work for the drill. You guys get to watch me struggle every time, but you guys will get to watch me hopefully succeed for our last time together. You guys can practice this more on your own after class. All right. And so that may feel like it's for maybe a back handspring, but it is really just helpful for all backwards movements, back flips, backwards rolls, just everything backwards really, even back drops. Just getting your hips up and over your head, getting used to that backwards movement. So that's a fun, soft, cushy way that we get to do that. And we have another drill that we'll practice for our side flip at the very end of our side flip workouts. Without too much more talking about back flip, we are going to start talking about side flip. We're actually going to take a crunch, laying crunch position to start. So let's get down together. We've done these before in a few different workouts. We are going to do our side-to-side crunches. So when I do this, I'm keeping my heels as close as I can to my bottom. So I'm squatted in super tight, super close. And when I am swinging side to side, my hands are trying to go for my toes. I'm also keeping my shoulders up off the ground just ever so slightly. Head, chin, chest up off the ground, as you guys can see here, right? So keeping it slightly up and off the ground. Now, tapping, I'm getting to the side of my heel, just like that. whether you feel it or not, this is supposed to be for your obliques. This is a part of your abdominals. They're the sides of it. They're really your rib muscles almost. But they help us to drive ourselves side to side like we are doing now. Keep breathing. In through the nose and out through the mouth. If we are finding ourselves sliding, make sure you readjust. I like to walk myself back in. If you guys have like a wall or something like that, sometimes you can even pin yourself to the wall. Or if you have like a chair or a couch, you can pin your toes under that. Just even a sibling can stand on your feet and hold you in place so there's less sliding, no issue with that there. Good, and we're gonna rest, catch our breath for just a few seconds. Let's take 5 seconds of breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's get started with a second set. We're gonna do 3 sets in total. So, second set. Because this workout is one that's not often super hard to do, and it's a smaller sort of movement, we're gonna try and make our sets with this more effective by expanding the duration of the set. If you have to slow down, okay, that's fine, slow down. But I think honestly, going slower, I find a significantly greater challenge in accomplishing the movement and, oh my god, keeping the movement going. So I like to keep my tempo up a little bit, keep my pace strong, keep my breathing focused. Readjust as you need it. And keep it going. We're going to do just about 10 more seconds in set 2. Good, and rest. Nice. We're going to rest for 10 seconds, not 5 this time. So 10, and keep breathing. 9, 2, 1, get yourself set, ready, last set, go. And now just because this movement is designed for us to get our obliques firing, doesn't mean that you won't feel it in the front and the top of your abs as well. You should feel it in those places. However, we are targeting specifically the side here. We crunch in, squeeze. Really physically imagine that you are compressing these muscles, or that they're contracting, that they're pulling in, that they're pulling you in. And then you get your touch because of it. The opposite side, it's pulling you in, then you get your touch because of it. Same again, pulling you in. I'm not just rocking back and forth with my arms. I am using my abs to create sway. Good, and let's rest there. Let's rest for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna stay down, but flip over and go into a push-up position. So, one of the things that we're going to do with our push-up is a slightly widened stance with our feet. Again, we are still working towards our side flip. What we are going to do in our push-up is make a quick touch of our knee to our shoulder. So we're not actually doing arm bending push-ups. We're going to take that slightly widened stance, and I'm going to bring one knee up on the outside, and it's going to crunch in towards my shoulder on that matching side. My goal here is not to let my knee come through the middle or down low. I want to try and keep my knee up high. If you guys can imagine, it's like a dog on a walk. Keep your leg up high. You get my visual? So we're going to lift that leg up nice and high, and when we lift it up nice and high, we're going to pull that knee in and push it back out to high. Keeping it up that whole movement is going to be a challenge. You'll feel this in your hip flexor and a little bit in your side of your obliques here as well. So, in that push-up position, get ourselves readied, and once, and twice, and back and forth. Good. And now go ahead and rest for just a moment. I like to come down into a table position. While I rest from this table position, I'm going to really just kind of hollow out with an inhale, deep inhale, big hollow. And relax on the exhale. We're going to do just a few more. In that table, you should keep the weight in the shoulder. You should feel that pressure. Even though we're just kind of resting, there should still be a sense of weight there. Want to keep them active even during that rest. And we're not burning them out. We're very lightly keeping the burn on. Good. Let's get back in and go for one more. So push up position and hold with those knee drives to our shoulder. So ready and up. Slightly widened push up stance. Feet are slightly widened as well. Knee drives. Up and on the outside. Now if they're not actually touching your shoulder, they're only getting to here or here, that's okay. Not all of us are as flexible. But really get in there with them as best as possible.
Ronan doesn't understand. You get what I mean by dog on a walk.
Sometimes when dogs need to tinkle, they lift their leg to pee on something. That's the metaphor. It's okay. Sometimes we don't get the joke. It's all right, though. Moving on. Keep the workout going. Just a few more. Keep it strong. Good. And rest. Stay in that table position. Keep the burn on the shoulders. Big inhale and hollow.
Got it.
Good. Inhale and hollow. Exhale and relax. Good. Let the burn off the shoulders. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of burn in here, but you guys should feel quite a bit of burn in your hip flexor and a little bit in your torso and your abs. So we're going to come on back up. Get yourselves ready. If you're the camera person, ready for the change in body position. Nice. Thumbs up from some. Perfect. All right. And we're going to start with just a few, I know this is going to sound weird, but a few single leg extensions from a side lunge. What? Well, side flip. Side flips are predominantly done like this. Well, I'm not going to actually do it, but you run in and you go from one leg to the other and you take off of one leg at a time. So we're going to do a sideways lunge and single leg extension. So without too much more, let's get our first one underway nice and slow together. Big, wide straddle. Not so wide that you can't keep your balance though once you go into a lunge on one side or the other. As I go into that lunge on that one side, when I squat or I dip in on that leg, I'm going to take a little bit of momentum with me and bring my extended leg up off the ground. So that starting part of that movement will look like this, will feel like this. Lunging in, and just leaning over enough to pick that foot up off the ground. We're going to expand on that movement by straightening that suppressing weight leg, that squatted bent leg. So as I lunge in, and now my knee goes towards my foot. My feet are out at about a 45-degree angle right now. Not squared off because this can be really bad or awkward for the knee. So I'm slightly turned at an angle. Now I'm going to lean into my lunge, come off the foot, and extend, then come back. I'm going to drop back down on my opposite side. Here, lift and extend, and then come back. And that I like to refer to as a bow tie, because if you look at the shape that your hips are making, you're making this neat little triangle here, up and down, then down across, here and back. So a little hourglass or turned sideways like a little bow tie. So let's do another one of those together in a slightly fuller speed. We're going to go over, up, back, then over, up, and back. Maybe now you understand the shape of the bow tie a little bit more, the infinity symbol that we're drawing. So we're going to keep those going and add a little bit more lean or a little bit more like squat into your lunge as you feel comfortable. Some people even squat all the way to the ground, then lift, oh my goodness, and then come all the way up. I'm not those people. I'm not pushing myself out of my comfort zone, just to the edge of it, right? So wide straddle and a little bit more expertise means we're going to pick up that tempo just a little bit. So in, up, over, down, up, over. Keep it going. Good, let's rest there for a moment. Okay, wait, but don't forget, even in a resting moment when we catch our breath, good posture, right? Deep breath in and out. You feel the burn on your glutes a little? Yeah. You feel that in that sideways load and that sideways extension? Yeah. All down through here. Guess where you feel it when you take off for a side flip? All through those same spots. So keep that in mind. We are strengthening those areas. Last area we're going to target for today's workouts for our side flip is the couch. What? That's right, we're going to target the couch. We're going to move over there, practice a side roll. Now, if you guys do have armrests on your couch, it's important that you're very careful. Like my armrest currently is very unforgiving. It would be very unpleasant for me to slam into that. So I'm moving some of my pillows around and giving myself the room to start this movement here, in the very back or on one side of my couch, and roll across it. I'm going to sit down like normal. Now I'm going to push my hips back just a little bit, and I'm going to line up my armpit and my shoulders in alignment with my knees and my knee pit. The same way that these kind of hang off the edge of my couch, I'm going to line that first one matching that side up. So for me, I'm left side with my big open side of the couch. So I'm going to roll to my left like I was doing a left side shoulder or side flip, right? So shoulder reaches, armpit reaches down towards the couch. I'm going to almost grab the edge of the couch, bring my opposite arm up and over, and I can grab onto the couch and help pull myself over, use the floor a little, pull myself up and across, carefully getting my body to roll like I would for like a basic or a starting side flip. So some people often will do this outside as its own skill, and that's because it's called a side roll if you see people demonstrating it as its own movement. We're going to continue with a few more of our side rolls, just trying to go back and forth with them before we start our stretches here in just a few moments. So sitting on the edge, nice 90 degrees in the leg, kind of leaning in, keeping my center of gravity aligned with the center of my body and the edge of the couch. I'm going to rock that elbow and that armpit down towards the couch here on the right side. You can even grab it or the floor to help me. Set myself across, roll, bring my opposite arm over, and whoa, try and finish. Now I'm sliding off the slope of my couch a little bit, and some of you may feel that there's a little bit of difficulty performing this movement. I understand, I feel the same way, especially when it's as slow as we're doing it. if we were to sit up and we were to drive ourselves into the movement a little bit more, we would find that we roll through it a little bit more smoothly as well. So you can try and add just a little bit more momentum if you guys are comfortable doing so. As long as you have the space for it, you're not going to get hurt, accidentally break something. So let's go again on our left, and then again on our right. We'll start our stretches. Woo. Had to get that elbow off to the edge. Once I got it there, I was able to finish the movement. Helps you really think about how I have two arms to drive the whole time. 1 and 2, even behind me. So, last one together. Alright, perfect. So, sometimes you will slip, you will fall, you will end up on the floor, but as long as you had pads or mats around you, like we talked about, then it's going to be no harm, no foul. So, guys, woo! We did it. We talked about everything you need for a backflip and everything you need for a side flip, at least as far as basics goes. Obviously, the other thing you need is to practice the actual movement, right? So if you get the chance to, or when you get the chance to, if you have a mat or you have permission to set your mattress down, you can practice them if you are trained enough and you have done enough of your workouts and you feel comfortable, and I mean very, very comfortable with the movement in general. Because you guys, the last thing I want is for you to get hurt. So please only do these things at your own pace and at your own level of comfort and familiarity. So, I'm exhausted. We're going to go ahead and do our little bit of stretches. And if you guys have any questions, we'll take those questions too. But we are going to get some water. Okay, guys? So, get yours, I'll get mine.
Parched. 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 What? Stop. Can they hear me?
Yes.
They can hear me? Can I hear you? Oh, how refreshing. Alright, and we're back. Alright, sorry, I know I'm a little bit silly, but we gotta kind of break away from the seriousness of doing class for a little bit in those moments in between so that way we can, well, hydrate and shake the sillies out. So, we are going to start with some stretches, just a few, as we didn't do a whole lot of super intense workouts today. We just did a few specified ones. So we're going to take a seat in our butterfly stretch and really sit and lean forward. So sitting down, I'm going to go as pulled tight as close in as I can get for my butterfly to start. So heels all the way in to start, and flap them out, and lean in. Press your hips and your belly button together in that sense. Nice. Go ahead and flap those legs out just a few more times. Nice deep breaths the whole time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And if we have any questions, now would be a great chance to take them. I know we already had a question earlier about the dog in the fire hydrant, or well, the dog on the walk. So I'm glad we were able to handle that question mid-class, but if we got more, now's a chance. Alright. The answer is no. Nobody likes to talk to you, Coach FreeLove, and that's okay.
Friday.
It's a Friday. Everyone's doing their own thing, playing Animal Crossing or something. So we're going to go ahead and slide out of our butterfly and into our, what Summer likes to refer to as diamond. So this is essentially where we make a nice box with our legs, trying to make sure that there's a 90 here and a 90 here and a 90 here and a 90 here, getting it as square as possible. Then we're going to straighten up our spine and lean out and try and reach and almost pancake down towards our feet. You should feel this in your hips, but in a slightly different part of your hips and in just a slightly different way. So again, tighten up that spinal posture, reach up and lean in with the whole body. And don't forget to breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Alright, and coming out of that, sit those legs out straight, shake them out just a few times for a moment. We're going to pick one leg up. It's going to cross over the other just like this. We're going to pull it in. A little bit more. Perfect. And then we're going to Hollywood stretch by taking the opposite arm to that leg, so this is the left leg up. I'm going to take my right arm to the outside of that leg, twist, cross my body, looking with my head the same way that I'm twisting as well. Yeah, you're going ahead and coming out of that. Stay crossed though here and roll your ankle out. Last few movements of this crisscross of the leg, ankle, roll, twist body, series of stretch things. Nice.
What?
What? Make sure you roll that in the opposite direction as well. Can't wait to see what the YouTube captions have to say about that previous sentence. Someone's gonna be watching it and reading that as it comes along. 10 to 1, it's just gonna be absolute like slaughter. The English language is beautiful. All right, and switch legs. Lift it, cross it, pull it in tight, then cross the body. This is our Hollywood stretch on our opposite side now. Good. And coming out of the twist so that we can roll out the ankle together. Any questions, Sam?
Nope, but Catalina says hello.
Hello. We appreciate your viewership. You are most honorable. Thank you. Make sure you roll your ankle in both directions. It's one going around one way, and let's switch to the opposite now. Going in the opposite direction. Nice, nice, nice. Nice to miss you.
She says you're welcome.
Sick. Alright, guys. I've really appreciated hanging out and having class with you. I hope that you guys enjoyed what we worked on. I know some of those drills that may be sort of awkward or scary, and it's okay. If that is the case, like, totally fine. Especially if we're on the couch where it's a very soft and cushy environment that we are used to sitting on. You know, we're used to that. The couch is comfortable. It is a safe space. And if you guys don't throw yourselves too much or too crazily, then you guys are going to be able to practice the movement safely as well. Now, coach, I don't have a couch. I don't have a space to practice that safely. What do I do? Well, I mean, there's a lot of good alternatives, like just simply waiting right now and doing your workouts. That's one of your best alternatives. Waiting to practice your skill until, you know, a place next to you opens up, or when you guys get the chance to, you can even, kind of toss. I used to toss my flips into the pool when I was a kid, when I was first learning how to do flips. Because pools are like a foam pit almost, but a little bit softer. I would think most of the time whenever I've jumped into the pool, if I've landed on my head in the pool, it's almost always softer than landing on my head in a foam pit. So I guess it's a sense of perspective. Now, that being said, it was a comfortable environment for me to try tossing my first few flips. It kept me kind of safe. Can be kind of dangerous though, especially if you're right on the edge of your pool or it's a shallow pool. So kind of judge your environment and then move forward. Practice with a good sense of judgment. It's important to explore and investigate your environment before you make any attempt at anything. That being said, if your couch is a short couch, probably don't practice your side rolls here. Not right now. Not there. Maybe on the floor, like this. And we can see you guys for our next episode. So, you guys, we really appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for watching. This was episode 13, side flips and back flips, and me and you.